Hi friends, Allie here. In today's tutorial, we will be making the Bebe Baby Blanket. I released this pattern on my blog in June 2020 and I made it as a last-minute baby shower gift, so I didn't have time to record a video tutorial at the time, but since releasing it, I have had a few people have some questions, so I'm hoping that this video will help clear up any confusion there is with this pattern. It actually works up really fast. It takes less than 4 hours to make one, making it the perfect last-minute baby shower gift. I love to pair this blanket with an easy breezy ribbed beanie in matching colors, so if you want to check out that tutorial as well, I'll leave a link for it down below. Both patterns can also be found on my blog, in my Etsy shop, and on Ravelry. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you're ready to get started, let's head over to our supply list and let's get making. For today's tutorial, you will need medium 4-weight yarn in 4 colors. You're going to need approximately 165 yards per color. I'm going to be using Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek. You will also need a 6mm or J hook, a yarn needle, and scissors. So starting off with our first color, I'm going to refer to this as color A, so I'm going to be using this dark gray. We're going to start with our beginning chain. So if you want to adjust the width of the pattern at all, you're going to want to chain a multiple of 31 plus 4. So I'm going to start with a chain of 97. So I'm going to start with a slip knot, and then I'm going to chain 97. Okay, so I just finished my chain of 97. Now you really want to make sure that you have the right amount of chains, or else you're going to make it to the end and find that you either have too many leftover stitches or not enough. So you just want to make sure that you did 97 so that you don't have to rip out and try again. So double check, triple check to make sure you have 97 chains. So now we're going to start with row 1 and starting into the third chain from the hook. So we got 1, 2, 3, we are going to work a double crochet 2 together. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to insert our hook into the third chain from the hook, insert our hook, and we're going to pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on our hook, and then we're going to finish off our double crochet 2 together. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the next chain, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on your hook, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. So that was a double crochet 2 together. So we just did a decrease there. And now we are going to work 1 double crochet in each of the next 14 chains. So work 14 double crochets across. Okay, and into the next chain, we are going to work 3 double crochets all into that next chain. So 3 double crochets all in the same 1, 2, 3. So working the 3 stitches in 1, oops, that one messed up. That is going to create our first peak. So that's going to make it go up like this, and now we're going to work another 14 double crochets across. So 1 double crochet in each of the next 14 stitches or 14 chains. Okay, so I just worked 14 double crochets across, and now we are going to make our first valley. So we're going to make it dip in here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to skip the next 2 chains. So skip the next 2 chains, and then we're going to double crochet into the next one. We're going to double crochet in the next 14 stitches again. So we just skipped 2, so you're going to have a little gap there, and now we're going to double crochet in the next 14 chains. Okay, so I just worked 14 double crochets across. So this is what we're looking like so far. So far we have 1 peak and 1 valley, and now we're at the top of another peak. So we are going to work 3 double crochets all into the next chain. So 3 double crochets all into the same one. That just created our next peak. And now we're going to work 14 double crochets across again. So 1 double crochet in each of the next 14 chains. Okay, so I just worked 14 across. So now we are going to create another valley. So we're just going to skip the next 2 chains, double crochet in the next one. We're going to work 14 double crochets across. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 15, and 14. So now we need to create another peak. So we're going to work 3 double crochets all into the same chain. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to work 14 double crochets across. So 1 double crochet into each of the next 14 chains. Okay, that was my 14th double crochet, and now we should be left with 2 chains. So in the last 2 chains, we're going to double crochet 2 together. You yarn over, insert your hook into that next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, so the last chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the last 3 loops on your hook. And there we go. So you should still have a, oh, you shouldn't still, sorry, you should have a total of 95 stitches now. So we have, I can't fit it all under the camera, but we have 1, 2, 3 peaks, and then we have our 2 valleys in the center, and then at the end, since we worked a double crochet 2 together on each end, our end is going to slant down. So we work a double crochet 2 together, a decrease on the ends, and that's going to keep our ends nice and straight. So I know it seems kind of odd to work a decrease at the end, and we're going to do that at the beginning of end of each row. That's going to keep our ends nice and straight, and then you should always have 3 peaks in the middle and 2 valleys in the middle. So now we are on to row 2. So we're going to chain 2. This chain 2 does not count as a stitch, and it will not count as a stitch at all throughout the pattern. So for row 2, we are going to work a double crochet 2 together in the first 2 stitches. So double crochet 2 together. And then we're going to work 14 double crochets across. So 1 double crochet in each of the next 14 stitches. Okay, and then once you hit the top of the peak, we are going to work 3 double crochets into that next stitch. So 3 double crochets all into the same stitch. And then now working back down, we're going to work 1 double crochet in each of the next 14 stitches. Okay, and then we're going to skip the next 2 stitches for our valleys. So skip 2 stitches, and then into the next stitch we're going to work a double crochet, and we're going to work a total of 14 double crochets across. And then when we reach the top of our peak, we're going to work 3 double crochets all into that same stitch. And working back down, we're going to work 1 double crochet in each of the next 14 stitches. And then we're going to skip the next 2 stitches and then double crochet into the next 14 stitches. Okay, once you reach the top of the peak, we're going to work 3 double crochets all into that same stitch. And then once more, we're going to work 1 double crochet in each of the next 14 stitches. You should have 2 stitches left, so in the last 2 stitches, we are going to double crochet 2 together. And we just finished row 2, so this is what it's looking like so far. So as you work it, your peaks and valleys will be more prominent. So there we go, just like that. So now we're going to chain 2 and turn, and then we're just going to repeat what we did for row 2. We're going to repeat with this same color all the way to the end of row 11, and then we're going to change colors. So we're just going to continue on repeating row 2 until we reach the end of row 11, and then we'll change colors. So I'm just going to continue on, and I'll catch up with you guys at the end of row 11, and I'll show you how to change colors. So I'm just at the end of row 11, and I just have my 2 stitches left to work my double crochet 2 together in, and this is where we're going to do our color change. So we're going to start our double crochet 2 together as normal. So start it off as normal until you get to that final pull through. So I just have that final pull through the last 3 loops on my hook, and this is where I'm going to do my color change. So I'm going to drop my current color yarn and pick up the next color I want to use. So whatever you want to use for color B, I'm going to be using this cream color. So get your next color, leaving a about a 4 to 6 inch tail at the end, and then you're just going to pull through with this new color. Just like that, and then I'm going to chain 2, and then we're just going to turn our work and carry on as normal. You can cut off your first color now, and then I'm just going to wait to the end to weave in all of my ends. So cut off the first color, we're done with that, and now we're just going to carry on with our second color. So our pattern is just going to repeat, we're just going to keep repeating row 2. So we're going to work with our second color for rows 12 all the way through rows 22. So we're just going to carry on repeating row 2 all the way to the end of row 22, and then we're going to change colors again. So just continue on, and I'm going to catch up with you guys at the end of row 22, and we'll change colors again. So I'm just coming up to the end of row 22, so I just have 2 stitches left. So we are going to do our double crochet 2 together, and we're going to change colors again. So we're going to start the stitch as normal and then just change color on the last pull through. So I just have 3 loops left on my hook, so I'm going to drop my current color and pick up my next color, which will be color C. I'm going to use this burnt orange, kind of brownish color for mine. Again, leave a tail length that's about 4 to 6 inches long, and then just pull through with your new color, and then chain 2. And I'm going to cut off my last color, leaving a few inches so I can weave it in later. And now we're just going to continue on with our third color. So this is what our blanket is looking like so far. So now we are on to row 23. So I'm going to turn my work. And we're just going to keep repeating row 2. So from rows 23 to 33, we are just going to stick with color C, and then we're going to change our color one more time when we reach the end of row 33. So I'm just going to repeat row 2 from rows 23 to 33, and then we'll change colors once more. So I'm just coming up to the end of row 33, so I just have 2 stitches left. So we are going to do a double crochet 2 together, and we are going to change colors on the last pull through. So start your double crochet 2 together as normal. Then on the final pull through, we're going to drop this 3rd color and we're going to pick up our last color. So I'm going to be using a light gray, so this will be color D. Just do that final pull through with the new color. And then chain 2. And then we can cut off our 3rd color here. Make sure you leave a long enough tail that you can weave it in at the end. Okay, now I'm going to turn my work, and now we're on to row 34, and we are just going to continue doing the same thing. So we're going to repeat row 2 all the way to the end of row 44. So rows 34 to 44, we're just going to continue doing the same thing. And this is our final color. Just continue going, and I'm going to catch up with you guys at the end, and I'll show you how to finish up your blanket. So I'm just on the last 2 stitches of row 44, so I'm going to work a double crochet 2 together in those last 2 stitches. And we are done. So I'm going to chain 1 and cut off my yarn, leaving about 4 to 6 inch tail, long enough that I can weave it in. Pull that through, and now we're going to weave in all of our ends. So I'll give you a quick look at the blanket. I can't fit it all under the camera, but hopefully you get the idea. So you can keep going if you want. I finished at row 44, and that should make our blanket about 30 inches tall. But if you want to make yours any longer, you can just keep following the pattern. Just keep repeating row 2 until you get the length that you want. But I have what I want, so I'm going to just weave in all of my ends here. Okay, so I have all of my ends weaved in, and here is our Bebe Baby Blanket. There we go. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for following along. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and be sure to tag me in your photos so I can see your finished creations. You can find this pattern and many more free patterns on my blog whoshomemade.com. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.